extraordinary name. The NGO launched an application in the Cape High Court last month asking for a permanent stay of Zuma's prosecution. Just before announcing his decision to reinstate charges against the former president last Friday, Sean Abrahams, the National Director of Public Prosecutions, revealed that an unnamed NGO had asked the court to halt any legal action against the former president.
These are the papers filed by the South African Natives Forum in the Cape High Court last month. In the 420-page document, it cites inconsistent conduct by both the National Director of Public Prosecutions and the National Prosecuting Authority in prosecutions of Jacob Zuma since 2007. It also labels various decisions and pronouncements by the NPA and even Parliament, cited as the sixth respondent, as an abuse of the prosecutorial process.
We believe that the former president is not being treated fairly, and the justice system is being sort of biased in terms of its treatment towards the former president. And an injustice anyway is a threat to justice everywhere. That's what informed us to bring forward this application.
NPA boss Sean Abrahams indicated last week that his office would oppose the application. Meanwhile, the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution is suspicious of the motives behind the forum's application and questions whether their argument has any merit.
Rehashing issues that have been gone through the courts in the spy tape saga over many, many years, have gone through the courts many times, and we've had a very strong and clear judgment from the Supreme Court that these arguments that have been raised before hold no water. The decision to drop those charges was irrational. We now believe that Abrahams has taken the correct decision, which he should have done a long time ago, finally to reinstitute the charges.
The matter was first heard on the 9th of March and is now awaiting a return date from the court. Lukhanyo Chalada, SABC News, Parliament.
Well, the former president's son, Edward, has accused the judiciary of conducting a witch hunt against his father. He warns of what he calls dire consequences for the ANC in the 2019 general election.
Edward Zuma says his father's been targeted by the courts. He says it's certain that there's already a predetermined judgment against him.
The behavior of our judicial system leaves much to be desired. One can only conclude that obviously the decision ultimately at the end, if the case proceeds, will obviously be against the former president, because I would basically say there is already a judgment. People, they are just waiting for a formality to unfold.
In 2005, former President Jacob Zuma received strong backing during his corruption case at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Scores of ANC members, including political heavyweights, stood by his side. Now his son says he's lobbying hard within the ANC for support for the former president. Edward says if his father is indeed charged, the move will hit the party and other individuals hard.
I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all. What I'm worried about is what will suffice, which will at some point hurt certain individuals, which, it will have unbearable consequences, It will have a bearing, and it's a fact that it's going to affect, some processes, particularly in the general elections next year.
Edward says already the number of high-profile individuals showing support has increased. He says, however, the Zuma family will respect any decision taken by the courts. Ngisi Khumalo, SABC News, Durban.